Hi everyone, welcome. Maryjo with Fourth Dimension Healing. I'd like to take a little bit of time right now and explore the concept of storm and what happens when we invite the element and energy of storm into our healing practice. Now, when I'm talking about storm, I'm not talking per se about an element as much perhaps as I am talking about an event that happens when earth, fire, water, and wind are in dynamic balance. Think of a thunderstorm in the middle of the summer. Wind blows, there's rain, there's lightning, there's thunder, the earth seems to move and shake. And yet, after that event is calm, transformation and newness takes hold. That's what happens with storm. And today I would like to share with you some of the gemstones and crystals that resonate with the frequency of storm. Storm is a frequency that pulls energy up from the earth because it resonates with the earth. It pulls energy down from the heavens because it resonates with those wind type frequencies. It has this motivational, creative, transformational kind of energy of fire, and it has this soothing and washing and turbulent kind of calming and clearing action of water, all bundled together in the element of storm. So I brought several stones to share with you today, and of course you may very likely have other storm element stones as well. If you're not sure, when you're done with this video, go out and visit my webpage, go to my gemstone shop, and sort by storm. And you'll be able to get a sense of which stones you already have that you may already be working with that resonate with this powerful transformative frequency. So to start with, I'd like to talk with you about a stone called K2. Now, K2 is a powerful, transformative energy. Relatively rare, relatively new. It has this ability to hold a very, very strong energy field for us. So, for example, we've talked about the 7 chakras, the 7 energy centers that run from our tailbone up through the center of our body, and the 7th one exiting out the top of our head. Also, in addition to that, if you were to imagine that we have like a little bit of a north pole where the energy comes out the top of our head and it wraps down and enters almost like a little bit of a south pole magnetic frequency where the vortex of energy meets below our feet. Think of that as a torus. And a torus is a powerful, energetic vortex shape. K2 helps support a very strong torus so that our energy field, external from our physical body, holds a very powerful magnetic and electric balanced frequency, so that the rest of our energy centers are able to remain in alignment and balance, which means that our organs are balanced, our thoughts are balanced, our emotions are balanced. We are connected with spirit and with the earth. K2 has this powerful frequency that helps support with that. Nuamite is a very, very, very old stone. This is a storm element stone that has the power and the transformative gift that it brings to us to be able to not only really ground, but to be able to shift and clear long-standing core patterns that are in the process of clearing. So when I think of a core pattern, it's something that seems to be with us a lot. It shows up in different parts of our life. It may show up in a relationship at work and at home and in a family or in acquaintances. It's an invitation for us to do some healing work around a theme, not just a random energy shift here or there that we may need support with. Nuamite has this beautiful ability to go really deep and hold us so that we can do this work. Another storm element stone is blue kyanite. So kyanite has this ability to balance all the energy centers. So it certainly can be very calming for the mind. It helps us express ourselves through our throat chakra. It can be very nurturing for our heart chakra. It may be that we really are looking for some grounding and balance. So this is a stone that supports with all of those different aspects of the healing work that we do in all of our different chakras. And this particular kind of kyanite, the blue kyanite, really helps us hold our energy field in balance so that we are able to overall experience wellness and health. So I've only talked with 3 storm element stones already, but I'm thinking you can probably see that there's a little bit of a theme here. We are talking about stones that ground, that clear, that balance, and that connect across the full spectrum of our energy field. So that's blue kyanite. Now, a Shiva lingam is a stone most often associated with India. It is a stone that represents both the masculine and the feminine energies in our energy field. And when working with a Shiva, whether it's a smaller one like this or a larger one that may sit on a mantle or is part of your sacred space. They even have some Shivas that you can find that are only about an inch or so long. This particular stone, the Shiva lingam, represents balance. Now, I shared already that it represents both the masculine and feminine, and that plays out energetically in our energy field. You may have heard of the term yin and yang. It has to do with the feminine and the masculine, the dark and the light, the resting and the activity. There's always this balance. We're never in one before we shift into the other. And the Shiva lingam is able to support us as we really are working on balancing and welcoming in the masculine and the feminine energies in our body. Ultimately, when we are grounded and when we are centered and when we are calm, we are very present to whatever it is that's taking place in our life. So whether we're doing an activity, whether we're at work, whether we're visiting with friends or family, when we are very present and aware of that moment, that is a representation of the gift of the Shiva lingam. Now there's another storm element stone called indigo gabbro. This is a powerful transformative stone that pulls down spiritual frequencies, spiritual energies, and then anchors them deeply into every aspect of our body. So while some of the stones I was just talking about, nuamite would be an example of really anchors earth and pulls up, the indigo gabbro is an example of a stone that connects very high up in that energy field, drawing those powerful energies down and moving them through the entire energy field, and then allowing us to transform our body, mind, and spirit and be informed by the frequencies and the energies that are coming in with the support of the indigo gabbro. There's another stone that is very, very helpful for balancing all of the chakras, and it's called red-capped amethyst. So this particular stone has 7 different minerals that support ground up frequencies. Now this particular crystal, a lot of quartz in here, has a point, a termination. So when working with stones that have terminations or points, we can work with them in a way to direct the energy that we are inviting to support us with healing. So if I were to work with this red-capped amethyst and in a way that would very much like to support drawing in powerful energies, I would work with it so that the point or the termination is directed toward my body. So if it was above my head, it would be pointing down. If it was at my feet, I would have it be pointing up. If I was holding it, I might choose to place it in my hand with the termination pointing towards my arm to support the inflow of the energy. If, on the other hand, I wanted to work with it with the intention of directing away energies, up and out, so to speak, I could reverse its position. And for example, if I held it in my hand, I might choose to place it in my hand with the termination towards my fingers, again, escorting that energy out. So this is where working with your stones, getting to know how it is that the stones and you have a relationship is really important, because what I say is certainly a guide. It is your experience that will direct and nurture your own healing work. The final storm element stone I want to talk with you about today is a very, very common stone, and you may have one in your collection of some kind. And it is clear quartz, known as rock crystal. Sometimes comes in tumbled stones. This is an example of one that is called double terminated, because as you can see, there is a point at both ends. This is how it essentially was formed. The crystal grew from the center out in both directions. And so while with the red-capped amethyst that I was showing you, we can be very directional. If we have a double terminated stone or crystal, that will be directing energy in and out at the same time. So an example of a way that we might want to work with this stone is perhaps we want to lay down in a resting position and perhaps lay it right across our heart chakra so that it really is supporting the energy flow up and down through our entire body. You'll notice that this quartz is not water clear. It doesn't have to be. Quartz magnifies other frequencies. So if, for example, we were to have other minerals included in this particular stone, that would amplify the frequencies of some of those stones as well. I don't have with me today a piece of Tibetan quartz, but Tibetan quartz is almost always black or has occlusions or inclusions of black minerals that actually the quartz amplifies the power of those minerals as well. Some quartz is single terminated with a point on one end, and you can actually take two single terminated quartz points, have one up and one down, so that working together, you created a double terminated quartz frequency energy directional process. So all kinds of ways to work with it. Here is one final example of a single terminated water clear quartz. One of the things I do like about quartz is that it balances all the chakras, and it absolutely amplifies frequencies. So if I were to take this double terminated piece of clear quartz and work with it directly with the nuamite, that quartz is actually going to amplify more strongly the frequencies of the nuamite. So there are all kinds of ways you can explore healing with the storm element. The storm element does not need to be something that we need to be afraid of. It is absolutely something that naturally happens when we go into balance, when earth, water, fire, and wind are dynamically balanced, storm happens. And so when we are experiencing times of very clear, very balanced energy, that is the time where we are able to move forward with new activities, new projects. We are motivated and things get done, and we are able to absolutely feel grounded and centered while we're doing that. So that is the benefit and the beauty of working with storm element. Now, any one of these stones can be used at any time, even if you're not choosing to actually really work with storm, but know that they absolutely will support that overall balancing, clearing, drawing the energies of the earth up, the heavenly energies down, helping you to become that middle point, that balance point between the earth's and the heavens energies. And it is when we are balanced ourselves and our heart chakra is balanced and opened and clear, that really is where transformation takes place. That is where growth takes place, and that is where healing takes place. So experiment with storm, experiment with all of the various elements and their properties to support you in body, mind, and spirit. If you have any questions again about anything that I said here, if you have questions about stones, go ahead and send me an email. Go ahead and send me a chat through my webpage. I'm more than happy to help support you as you are sorting out how to work with stones and crystals to benefit body, mind, spirit healing. I wish you well.